Sandoval, he will come home, and they get the no. They're going to say Hill is safe and that Posey came off home plate.
Now the throwing woes continue for Pablo Sandoval, as his throw was a bit wide of Posey. He's got all the time. I'll tell you what, I mean, unless he wasn't standing on the plate at all, it looked like he did make contact with it. Nope. Never got to the base.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy's been thrown out of the game. So while all of this is going on and Bruce Bochy gets some stuff off his chest, the Diamondbacks have taken the lead. We're going to give the error on Posey, by the way.
I think the official scorer is having a bad day. There have been 8 errors in this game, 5 by the Diamondbacks, 3 by the Giants.
Sent Alex Gordon to the warning track, and he's hit by Sanchez. And Chu is just not happy. He is tired of people throwing at him, and he's just about had enough. And now the bench is empty because Chu, frankly, is just not going to take it anymore. And now we got some serious pushing and shoving in the center of the diamond. Jack Hanahan is squaring off against somebody, and they've got him horse collar trying to keep him from getting into a scrape here. So that'll get everybody's blood boiling here in inning number 3. Hey, let's not forget, Chu was hit by Sanchez last year, and it cost him a big chunk of his season. He's been thrown at least 3, if not 4 times now already this year. And he's just probably completely fed up with it.
He's fed up with it is right. It is. He's frustrated more than anything, man. There's no doubt about it. This is the 3rd time a left-hander. I mean, he comes inside, hits him in the knee. First base was open, and Chu's just saying, throw the ball over the plate. And then, you know, the bench is emptied. And I think Chu's teammates, and Hanahan being the one, he's the one that really was frustrated. He comes out and he goes ahead and grabs Sanchez and starts talking to him. And then Moustakas takes on Hanahan. And now we're all starting. They get him away from the circle.
They ask him to bunt, and no play. No play. We're watching the plate umpire, but the plate umpire, I thought, was pointing that the ball was dead. And the Padres are going to really come out and argue that one. Wait a minute. Hey, let's take a look. The ball hits the bat as it drives in out of the box. It looked like the ball landed behind home plate. You see the way he held his arms up as if to say no. The Padres are still appealing. Whoa, well, I can understand. It's been a long series, and here you are scrapping to the 9th inning. You have 2 on and nobody out. You want a bunt to stay out of the double play, and instead you wind up with a bunt and a triple play.
Guerra deals, squares to bunt, and it hit the bat, and a double play.
And if it's a fair ball, it's a triple play.
It is a triple play. The Padres can't believe what they have just seen.
The Dodgers did exactly what you have to do. Go ahead and complete the plays. Let the umpires sort it out.
Oh, right in the back. Or did it hit the bat? No way. It hit the bat, and that's going to be a triple play.
You've got to be kidding me. That was a foul ball, wasn't it?
We're going to have to look at that again. Dale Scott saw it as a fair ball, trying to get out of the way. How did it even hit the bat? It looked like it was going to hit him in the small of the back.
You know what? That's, after second look, that's a legitimate bunt. That's a bunt. He tried to get out of the way. That ball hit the bat, went into fair territory. That's the right call. We have the luxury of replay. That's a triple play, folks.
Span squares. It's called a strike, and Swisher nowhere near the bag. With Span squaring, Swisher was coming in, and you can see the catcher Stewart saying, "Hey, that's my bat." He threw almost behind the first baseman.
Well, showing bunt right there. At least you know, he got it up in the air. Stewart did, and it allowed Swisher to get back and catch the ball.
And as you said, Swisher new to the team and probably hasn't been out there
Stewart,
at all
yeah.
with Swisher at first base. Span, I think, is questioning why that pitch was called a strike. And Span's been tossed. This is related to the balk, and I think it has everything to do with Denard Span questioning the strike one call.
Well, if you've been around Denard Span, you know there was no cussing involved. Very short fuse for home plate umpire Greg Gibson.
And now the manager is going to pick up the argument. That's no more than a toss of the coin here as to whether Gardy's going to survive this discussion at all. Because the manager, as we said, was agitated about the balk call in the bottom of the second. There he goes.
There he goes.
We could read Gardy's lips after the balk call. Said, "I'm going to remember that one. I'm going to remember that one." And it doesn't take a long memory to get you to the top of the next inning.
Let's take a look at the pitch right here. That Denard Span question. He squared around, and the ball inside. And Span, that's what he was asking. I thought that ball was inside, so they're having a conversation about it. And then Gibson, I guess, had enough right there. Span said something else, and then Gibson threw him out.
Well, the Twins will play the rest of this game without their manager and without
and their center fielder.
Their center fielder, Cleet Thomas, will hit for Span and in all likelihood take over in center.
Nick has struck out and grounded out. Markakis coming in with the 4-game hit streak, even though he's had just 6 hits in his last 35 at bats, and he's upset again at the call. And here comes Buck Showalter. This is gonna, Buck knows how hot Markakis is over the last week about the strike zone, and he's thrown him out. And now he's coming out to protect Markakis, because he knows if he doesn't, Markakis is going to get heaved, because Nick is about ready to explode. He is really upset about this road trip and all the calls that have been made strikes on him that he thinks aren't even close. So Showalter's going to get all of it out right here. Campos, the home plate umpire, and Dale Scott, the crew chief, coming in from second base.
Well, here's the pitch. Once again, about a foot off the plate in the other's batter's box. It's been a consistent trend here, especially here in Anaheim. Dale Scott obviously started it off the first game of the series. But the frustration, obviously it builds up. I mean, how can you be that consistently bad? And I'm sure Buck is kind of reiterating that to the umpires right now.
So Showalter heaved out of the ball game, timing that one to protect Nick Markakis. As Nick said the other day to me, he said, "Is it going to take me dropping my hat and belt and helmet at home plate and getting heaved out of a game in order to make the point?" And I said proudly, well, no, it's Buck Showalter getting heaved out of the game.
There he goes. Good jump. Molina to second, and he's saved.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
Wow.
Tyler Green's arguing that he got him ahead, and Molina, I think Molina can't believe it. Mike's going to run out there and keep Kyler in this ball game. As you see now, Kyle gets to him before Mike can, but it sure appeared that the throw beat him. He slides right into the hand. He eventually got the base, but bang, bang play. You have to believe, and Mike Matheny may get his first ejection. Bill Welke is the Garza likes that, but Mike Matheny, he's showing people that he knows how to argue, but he's a very patient man. He's telling the Cardinal team that, hey, I'll fight, I'll battle for you, I'll fight for you when you're right.
Give him right center field. You don't. Oh, they call the balk. Why? Because it's a great move.
Apparently. Buddy Black stepping up on the first two steps of the dugout, wanting to know that what the call is, because Clayton does have a great move.
Like I said, I've said this many times, because it's a great move. Okay, he doesn't break the plane, leg up. Why? Nobody's going to go have a chat. I don't see that being a balk. And Buddy might be waiting till Lance Barrett goes out to break this meeting up and maybe give him an earful about why he thought that was maybe a balk. I think Buddy's going to get into the ear of Barrett right here.
I think Barrett knows it.
Oh, I love that. Look at the left-hander just trailing him right there. And he's gone.
Getting some pitches off the plate for your pitcher, you can say, you know what?
Here we go, Joe.
Well, Joe's been complaining all night, too. He hasn't been happy with the strike zone.
Joe Girardi just made a leap over the fence in front of the dugout. I don't know if he's been thrown out. He must have been, for him to jump over that fence like that.
This is, if I was a manager, this would drive me crazy, because you see the look on Joe West's face is like, you know, I don't even want to hear it. Well, you know, Joe Girardi's frustrated because, you know, you're in a close game here, and the pitch is right here.
He threw him out left-handed, and then watch Joe. Not too many managers can do that. And then he got his money's worth.
Runner going to second. Here's the throw, and to Phillips for the tag. They get him. Schaefer bangs the helmet down after the Marvin Hudson out call. But the Astros come up with a run. They just got run. Talk about a shortage of players. Now it's going to be boy. I mean, it's hard to do that.
The Mills were getting out there to try to stop it before it happened, but too late. He initially was fine for slamming the helmet, and then said something and got the thumb.
The Astros lead it 2-0.
You can trick them. It's all between the ears.
Gets the call for strike three. Boy, Kinsler thought it was high, and Ron Washington's out in a hurry to try to keep Kinsler in the game.
I don't know what K-Zone says, but I agree with Kinsler. That ball is up.
And Ron Washington, on his birthday no less, just got tossed out of the game.
You know what? Wash came out, said his piece, and was walking away, and Dan Bellino didn't let it go. And that's when Wash came back and got ejected.
Just missed the inside corner. Napoli's getting good looks at Hutchison tonight.
He's not a free swinger. You mentioned the 30 home runs and the 75 RBIs last year. And some arguing balls and strikes going to cost someone.
Sam Holbrook has thrown somebody out of the game, and John Farrell is coming out. And Holbrook, there's been no indication whatsoever. And it appears as though John Farrell has been thrown out of the game. And there were no earlier suggestions that this was an ongoing thing.
Sam Holbrook feels like somebody on the bench was questioning balls and strikes, and if there is a question, you can throw him out.
Well, that's like he's throwing somebody else out on that dugout bench. Because he waved somebody else off the bench. And now Farrell and now Joe West is going to come over and get involved. And it looks like Omar Vizquel. Just Vizquel has been thrown out. So Vizquel was singled out as the perpetrator on that bench, and he will pack up and head to the clubhouse. So Omar Vizquel has been thrown out of the game by Sam Holbrook, the home plate umpire.
But he just starts them early. For call goes. He has a stolen base. That area we talked about where the opponents have taken advantage of the Pirates in the stolen base department. .95 on the gun, misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Wow, Barajas just got thrown out.
How about that? Rob Barajas is tossed by the home plate umpire, and Clint Hurdle might be next.
Yeah, they had an issue with the Furcal stolen base. They had their first little spat.
And now Hurdle is gone. So Barajas ejected, and now Clint Hurdle by the home plate umpire Angel Campos.
2 breaking balls, tried to freeze him with a fastball, and you see there it's on the plate. Tell maybe a bit down. I'm guessing that's what Campos had said. Barajas not really showing anybody up. You see this all the time where catchers and umpires have many discussions behind those masks. Sometimes it's goofing around, or just conversation, or just talking, and sometimes it's anger and frustration. And obviously Barajas frustrated here early. Again, he had an issue with him over exchanging a ball in the J at bat. Hurdle going to certainly protect his player and come out.
Oh, it hit him. Somehow it grazed Ellis. Dale Swaim doesn't think so.
Well, the only reason I would say I have my doubts is the fact that Gio was able to catch the pitch. Yeah, you have to assume if it's going to hit A.J. Ellis, it would deflect a little bit, but that ball looked like it squared up right in the middle of the mitt. Now Dale Swaim has been ejected. Oh, it got him. It did. Yep.
Time to run. Nope. He went. See, there's nobody there.
I'm going to say no swing. I thought he went on that one,
just
too.
talking
Andy
about
Fletcher,
that was,
second base umpire.
Yeah, that was a point I was just making at the top of the inning, that's going to come into play tonight, that there's nobody down there when there's a man on base.
I think Sam Perlazzo and Charlie Manuel both saying something, and I think Charlie's just been thrown out of the ballgame.
That was a short fuse.
Well, I wonder if it's a carryover even from the catch.
Well, no, yeah, they were arguing the check swing. They want to know, hey, how can he call it from second? Well, that's what they got to do. And that was the point I was making in the top of the inning, that this could come into play at some point tonight. A little quicker than we thought.
I think Charlie has an argument, and we're assuming it's Charlie that's been thrown out of the ballgame. If not, he'd be thrown out now anyway because he's out arguing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's out. Yeah, he was thrown out of the game.
No, I didn't know if because Sam Perlazzo was arguing too, so
yeah.
I didn't know if it was somebody else that may have been ejected.
Losing that rare one-run game yesterday, 5-4 the final. Chad Billingsley falling to 2-2, and someone has just been thrown out. Someone in the Dodger dugout has been thrown out. I don't think it's Don Mattingly. It's someone else.
Someone else, and Donnie's going to come out to argue, but I'm not even sure what they're arguing about at this point. Someone chipping away at Tim Timmons back there about strike zone or something else.
I know that Abreu wasn't happy with the previous pitch from Volstead. Maybe someone said something from the dugout about that. But that seems to be an awfully quick trigger.
Well, what Donnie's going to argue is that if it wasn't him, he may have taken one of my players that I might need to use later in a ball game. Could Dave Hansen possibly? Ted Lilly. It's Ted Lilly down there, former Chicago Cub.
Goodness.
Everybody laughing about it.
Jesus gets hit. And we're going to have some warnings here. Freddie Gonzalez comes out. Hayward got drilled. De Jesus gets hit. Chris Conroy letting Freddie Gonzalez know. Oh, he threw him out. Told him not to come out and argue. Jerry Lane was coming in to maybe try to intercept it. Freddie quickly out of the dugout to defend his pitcher after his right fielder got nailed with a pitch in the top of the inning. This one gets De Jesus. And maybe what Freddie's complaint is that there was no warning issued after Samardzija hit his guy. De Jesus certainly wincing from that one.
Now Johnson, you see, very quickly turn around and talk to Brian McCann. And Hayward got hit on the back of the right arm. No warning.
Round to bunt, and that one hit him on the hand. It's a foul ball.
He should be out there. If he bunted at the ball, it's 2 strikes, he's out.
Yeah, and he is out. Brad Mills came out, and that is the call. Clint Hurdle's coming out. He's shaking his hand, but it looked as if it hit the bat.
Yeah, I think he's trying to buy it. Probably trying to buy a call. He wasn't convinced. He wasn't convinced of his own deception, because he really wanted to try to sell it to James Hoy. He would have dropped the bat and started walking to first base.
It's a foul 2-strike bunt, so it is a strikeout.
Hoy saying, I can only ask my first base umpire, because I had foul ball, and the first base umpire, I think, agreed with him.
That's Jim Joyce.
And the second base umpire there.
He's out. Second strikeout for Wilton Lopez. No, he's not out.
we have the count, Ron?
Brad Mills, no. Brad Mills is out again.
Let's strike three. I think I got to get the count right. I think they've forgotten the count.
It was a 1-2 pitch.
So now they're saying it was a foul ball, but not an attempted bunt. Oh. Wow, I see. Okay, he pulled the bat back. The ball hit the bat. It wasn't, there's some merit to this argument. Let's look at that again if we can. Pulling the bat back, and it hits the bat. I hate to say it, but I think that's a good call. He's in a bunting position. He starts to withdraw the bat. I don't know that I've ever seen this called, but I think they got it right.
Brad Mills doesn't think so. He is really hot now.
That's a bad thing. He's trying to bunt at the ball and he pulled it back. I've never seen this before. I've never seen this play. Interesting to see the rule book.
Oh, is he hot?
And then Jimmy Joyce is saying if he doesn't bunt it, it's a ball.
Just said to Jim Joyce, you're dead wrong.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what he said, yeah.
Okay.
He's not in the act of bunting. This is fun. We're reading lips here. And I guess the argument is what constitutes the act of bunting. But if you square around and you pull it back, you're no longer attempting to bunt the ball. The ball hit the bat. Foul ball is the call. I may be proven wrong, but I believe they got it right.
Mills has been tossed. The bench coach, Joe Patini, will take over. Barma stays at the plate with a 1-2 count. Meanwhile, Wilton Lopez has had a delay.
Hinsky called out on strikes and is in the face of Mike Machlinsky and is ejected and throws the bat.
You know me, I'm pretty much, every time somebody check swings, I yell, yes, he did. But I sure didn't think Eric even came close. The hands got out there, but the bat never did.
Just lost his control. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gotcha. Yes, good pitch. Fastball at 90. Oh, in fact, there's a difference of opinion how good the pitch was. Mark Paulson listening. Whoops! Ethier couldn't resist. He had a say, walked away, and then turned and had something else to say. Now he's spending house money. I mean, he's been fined. He's out of there. Now, Don Mattingly is getting into it. Plus, it's a little late. So Ethier's kicked out. And remember, Matt Kemp left, an irritated left hamstring. So the Dodgers will have used up 5 outfielders. And there goes Mattingly. So Matt Carlson, the plate umpire, he's been umpiring in the big leagues for about 13 years. He's from Illinois. And now Mattingly is getting his licks in. By the way, Mark Carlson is a former United States Marine. Here's the pitch. Wow. That looked awfully good without trying to get into an argument with Ethier.
First baseman, number 7, James Lundy.
Andre thought apparently it was inside. So Ethier strikes out, costly because he's not only kicked out, Mattingly is chased as well. Runner.
You know, somebody else for the ninth inning.
Qualls or Bastardo.
Right, without Papelbon today, we don't know that he's not available.
Curveball. Did he go? Yes, he did. Schneider was looking for the ball, and Castro's going to wind up being safe. Bob Davidson's yelling at the Phillies dugout because I think the bench was telling him he's got to get out of the way. Uh-oh, Charlie. There he goes. Well, talking about bill of the cap to the bill of the cap. Yeah, Charlie is red hot.
That's what they call beaking it. Yeah, when he runs out like that, he is really smoking.
I haven't seen him this week in a long time.
Now they got to calm him down.
Wow. I mean, he is nose to nose with Bob Davidson. The reason he's heated is because he felt like Bob Davidson got in Brian Schneider's way.
And then he didn't like Davidson going over there and yelling at the dugout the way he did.
Well, that's true.
That's what got him going more than anything else. He knows Jerry Lane real well. They live near each other.
Second time this year Charlie's been ejected.
Here it is. It's a breaking ball and a good one. The hitter bounces away.
Oh, I see what he's saying. Bob took a step toward.
Yeah.
I don't think he did it intentionally.
No, he just, there was contact there.
And he'll take the walk. Comes with one. Wow. Bill Miller with a delayed call. Looked like he was off the plate. Laurie was headed to first.
Yeah, it fooled all of us. Watch where this ball ends up. It looked like a fastball away. Set down to first base, and it's going to be called back. This one will really show if it got any of the plate. Nope.
And now he calls him out. And Laurie threw him out, and then the helmet, and that's going to cost Brett Laurie. And now they've got to get Laurie and get him back in the dugout.
Change up. It looked high and possibly outside. Brett Laurie can't believe it. Then he gets thrown out. That's the one that might cost him right there. Throwing the helmet and bouncing it off the umpire. Watch if is it high, and it looks like it's too high.
Looked like it was high and outside. And that's going to cost Brett Laurie. He threw his equipment. And there goes John Farrell, and he wasn't going to leave till he got tossed. Two outs, Colby Erasmus. Bouncing ball. Pena backs up on it. Rodney's at first, and the game is over. And now, unfortunately, the fans have become involved. And that should never be the case.
No.
And here the umpires are headed for their locker room, and then somebody threw something from the stands. You can see Bill Miller pointed who it was, and I'm sure that person will be handled appropriately.
And the safety squeeze, and McCarthy catches it. No, they say he did not catch it.
Oh,
the
no.
run's going to score.
Oh, he caught the ball.
So everybody's going to be safe. And
He caught
Melvin's
that
got to
easily.
be.
And unfortunately, if he doesn't get help from first or third, that is definitely a catch. He's got to get help, at least have help from first or third who had a better angle. But McCarthy made a spectacular play, and if he's going to be robbed of this, that's ridiculous. Got to get help. Nez Diaz has to get help. McCarthy, a great job coming off the mound. Clearly.
Yeah, he caught it.
Clearly caught it. What he did is roll the
his glove underneath, but watch, the ball's in his glove. It's not even close.
No.
Not even close.
You can see the ball in the webbing. Watch after it goes in, and then you can see it in its webbing. See right there it is.
Yeah. If he doesn't, he's not going to ask for help. If he has not asked for help at this point, he's not going to. And that is horrible on an umpire's part that he won't do it.
He just said, it's my call.
And he's got his back to it. He's got his back. Well, Melvin's going to stay out till he gets thrown out, and he should, because that is a horrible call. That's horrible. I'm sorry. And Andy Montague's over to our left, who is umpire supervisor. Of course, we see him in the Bay Area, but he's here today. And that is horrible. That is horrible.
Well, and it ends up, obviously, the go-ahead run scores, but the A's don't get anybody out.
They don't get it out.
Because McCarthy, he knew he caught it. He throws it back to third, thinking it's a double play.
That's brutal. That is absolutely brutal.
That is strike 3. He strikes out the side. Look out. Aviles in the face of Molino, and he's been ejected. Right in his face. And now that he's been ejected, he's going to get his 2 cents in and some more. So Aviles will not be part of this game moving forward. It is 3-2 Red Sox. Bird hits it on the ground up the middle. Rollins ranging, gets rid of it in a hurry, and it is just in time. What a play. Jimmy Rollins can still get it done as he comes from shortstop and somehow gets enough on that to retire Bird at first base.
I didn't think he had a chance right there in getting Bird at first base. He had so far to go. Here's the throw from Rollins off balance to pull him off the base. Valentine's been thrown out. Valentine saying that the throw pulled him off the bag. He's 3 times his jump now.
Gary Darling lost his gum.
Yeah, and he lost his gum all over Valentine. I don't think Bobby's chewing the same gum. Well, it's tough to tell if he kept contact. It looks like he came off the bag when he was making that catch. Very close at first base. Hard to tell even on replay.
30th career ejection for Bobby Valentine.
Don Mattingly hollering, and is going to be kicked out of the game. Don Mattingly from the dugout was hollering at Tom Hallion, and he is chased. So remember, Mattingly was kicked out in the game involving Clayton Kershaw, and now hollering from the dugout. Most times you don't see an umpire throwing out of the dugout unless, let's say, it's a hitter who's already hollered and tried to show him up. And nobody else in the ballpark really was aware about Mattingly. But Don getting it all out. The pitch at the plate, a check swing, which of course, well, let's put it this way. There was a wonderful umpire who umpired for many, many years in the National League. Jocko Conlon was his name. And Conlon felt there is no such thing as a half swing because there's no such thing as a half strike. So as far as
outfield straightaway for Pagan. And he loops one. Shallow center. Reddick's not going to get it. 1 run scores
Posey digging around. He's going to score. And going to second is Pagan, and it's 4-0. So a 2-run single for Angel Pagan. And the big hits are coming for the Giants here in the 7th inning.
Well, you have to play deep, and once again, a ball that was not hit extremely hard. Inning started with Burris, a ball in the hole, and they tried to cut it off and get the hitter going to second base, could not do it. Ram Balfour just did not put a hit away with 2 strikes, and when he falls behind 2-0, he throws a fastball that can be hit. So that quickly, Tyson Ross, who pitched brilliantly for 6 innings, got out of a lot of trouble, but he is a pitcher of record. And
so Bob Melvin is not going to be happy here. He's going to talk to James Hoy about a double switch. He may have a few other choice words to say to him. And he threw him out. So Bob Melvin's been thrown out of the game. Can't hardly blame him. Looked like another missed call going against the Athletics. So he's going to get a piece of James Hoy. Why not?
well, again, they're going to look at the film, the video, and they're going to see that the ball hit the bat as we saw it.
So we'll take a break. Giants have scored 4 times here in the 7th inning.
And this one thrown behind his back, and they
Oh,
just threw Tim Dillard out of the game.
You got to be kidding me. Why would he be hitting somebody? That's weak. Explain why he would be throwing at somebody.
Well, Hunter Wendelstedt is okay. Throwing Tim Dillard out of the game.
Why would that happen? I guess a couple of batters for the Brewers have been hit today. Wow.
Getting into some rehab at bats right now as far as getting live at bats. So we'd like to get him geared up to be ready for the interleague play if we can, for DH, and put him in a DH mode. But he's going to start taking some at bats here, we believe, in.
Oh, he just threw Ruiz out of the game.
Carlos Ruiz just thrown out of the ball game. Talking about those pitches that were so close. Charlie's going to come out and talk to Gary Cedarstrom. There were a couple pitches earlier in the inning that he held the glove at. I thought were pretty close.
Well, one to LaRoche, I think 2-2 is one of them, with all those foul balls before that.
Wow, that's a shame. Gary Cedarstrom, the crew chief of this umpiring crew, throws Carlos Ruiz out of the game. That was an awfully close pitch that Doc just threw.
Well, you can see there was some chirping. I mean, Carlos looked like he never turned around. Oh, man. A little bit. Oh, he does, yeah. We couldn't see from up here. Wow.
Well, it didn't get heated at all.
No.
Well, the conversation was going on. It almost looked like it was just a conversation.
Well, a lot of times they want the catcher looking straight ahead when they're doing that, so the crowd doesn't know what's going. The whole thing. Who knows?
These pitchers are going to work inside. Certainly, Jeff Samar just taking that to heart. Travis Wood here tonight. Diving stop. Castro gets up. Throw to first. He got him. What a play. Starlin Castro saying that's what I'm talking about. And I think Chris Johnson just got tossed. Maybe not. An equipment?
I think equipment violation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, what a play.
You can put the hit and run on if you don't think you can steal the base with Masterson on. Popped him up.
That's a balk.
Right side, and Kipnis, and he'll make the play. And Andy Dirks
Yelling at the home plate umpire. He was down the line.
I think Brookins is calling for a balk. Take a look at this last delivery here by Masterson. This is why he's literally impossible to run on. But look at him here. He's on the mound, and it looks like he quick pitches Dirks. He never stopped. That's a balk.
That is a balk. It wasn't called.
And that's why Brookins is getting kicked out of this game possibly. He's hot.
Brookins got right in the face of Paul Emmel.
That was a balk.
And now Jim Leland coming out. Boy, Brookins, you never see Brookie like this. And now we've got another ejection. And Brookins is now letting Gary Darling know about it as he walks away.
That was about as bad as it gets, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, Rod, sometimes you can say, okay, that ball was maybe a little off the plate. That was a bad call, but there's no disputing this.
This is a ball. He never stops. Watch the hands. They never stop.
Nope. Not good.
And Dirks takes a swing because he knows he has a free swing. If he gets a base hit, it's a base hit. But if he makes an out in that situation, he simply goes back to the plate if the balk is called.
So Brookins apparently has been ejected. I think the skipper has as well. And before Leland leaves, he is going to unload now on Gary Darling.
Tigers' last couple of nights really have not been happy with this umpiring crew. And a lot of it's frustration, but in this case here today, that was a balk.
Both Leland and Brookins have been ejected from this game.
Lloyd McClendon was thrown out of last night's game by the home plate umpire Jerry Meals.
I forgot about that. That's right, he was. Here it is again. You could hear several guys right there yelling, call the balk. So the Indians get away with one. Sweeney at second, 2 strikes. The count on Mike Aviles. And he tips it into the glove for strike 3, and that is that. Oh, wait a minute. No, they say it's a foul tip. That's Bill Welke. Said it hit the ground, and it looked like Jeff Nelson was looking down to first for some help.
Well, Gerald Laird is adamant that he caught the baseball. And that's why.
Oh, he did.
Wasn't close.
You could tell Nelson immediately was looking down at first base umpire Bill Welke for some help on that play. Clearly he caught the ball. And it was Bill Welke who made the call from first base, it appeared. And now Leland will continue his argument with Nelson.
It didn't even look like Aviles tipped it either to me.
Well, it sounded like it, but it didn't look like it. You're right. No balls, 1 strike. Driven high in the air to center. There he is on the run. He's looking up. That ball is off the center field wall. Aviles coming around to score. And it's a double and an RBI for Daniel Nava. He hit that ball a long way. The 0-1. Shot the other way off the glove of fielder. It'll go into short center field. They're going to try and score another run. Danny Werth's throw, not in time. He'll go to second base, and he's safe. Pedroia hustling all the way. And the Red Sox now, all of a sudden, lead 4-1. Slow tap to the right side. Fister will cover, and Fielder will throw him out. Big inning, 3 runs coming across for Boston. And Jim Leland now chatting with Tim Cheetah, the third base umpire, because that missed strike 3 cost the Tigers 3 runs, and apparently the skipper is still hot over it. And Tim Cheetah probably saying right now, Jim, there's not a whole lot I can do at this point. But a very frustrating inning for the Tigers. Leland, meanwhile, making Dupont wait. Dupont is done warming up. And in case you missed it, this is what happened. Aviles had a count of 0-2. Swung and missed on the pitch, and they say that he fouled it off. And what ensued was Avila singling in a run, Nava doubling in a run, Pedroia singling in a run. And now time called, and the first base umpire has just thrown him out.
Well,
Bill Welke has thrown out Leland.
Well, you know Wilkie wasn't going to take much of it.
Who they throwing out, I guess is what Leland said. Here comes the skipper now. He wants to know who's thrown out. Sooner or later out, I guess this had to happen if the chirping continued.
You had a feeling that it would, maybe because Jim had that lengthy conversation with the third base umpire, Tim Sheeta.
Well, the skipper's lighting up the crowd now, and he's lighting up Bill Welke as well. So apparently it was Leland that was tossed from this game. Now Tim Sheeta coming over from his third base spot to try and break this up. Well, Leland is hot as we have seen him in a long, long time. And he's not going quietly. So now the crowd will serenade Jim Leland off the field. Meanwhile, Dubront just continues to take a few more tune-up tosses. They are making him wait, and he's probably thinking, can we just get going here?
Second time on this road trip where the skipper will have a chance to go into the clubhouse and put his feet up on his desk and check out the tube.
Not exactly the way he wanted to watch this one, but that's going to be the case now as he hands his lineup card over.
To Dunn. Watch out.
Oh, what are you doing? He threw him out of the ball game. You got to be paping me. What in the hell are you doing? What are you doing, Wagner? You got to be kidding me. That is so bad. That is absolutely brutal.
That's incredible.
That is unbelievable. I'll tell you what. They have got to start making guys be accountable. That is totally absurd. That just tells you he has blue. Here's an umpire in the American League knows nothing about the game of baseball. That's unbelievable.
Let's take a look at this replay. Well, obviously AJ got hit, and this one was thrown, okay, behind him, but below the waist. That's brutal. That really is.
They have got to do something about this, I'll tell you. They got some guys in this league that have no business umpiring.
Yeah, that's...
They have no business umpiring because they don't know what the game of baseball is about. And he is one of them. We have always had problems with this guy right here.
Well, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, sure, you know, AJ got hit, and look, he got hit in the upper part of his body, and right there, okay, we're going to send a little warning to these guys, send a message. Just throw
I'll
one
tell you,
down.
he ought to be suspended. He ought to be suspended, and if they want to keep him as an umpire, send him back to school and teach him what this game is about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... And you take the ball out of Quintana's hands, how many opportunities are you going to be able to win a major league ball game?
That's
Here, the
unbelievable.
fourth inning with 2 out.
That is absolutely unbelievable. All right, we'll be back.
What's going on now? We have a situation down at first. Has Tommy Brookins been thrown out again?
I think so.
Jeff Nelson has just thrown Tom Brookins out, the second time he's been ejected apparently on this road trip. from the mild-mannered Tom Brookins. And Jeff Nelson has just given him the heave-ho.
I don't think Jim knew that. Rafael Belliard will have to take over for Tommy Brookins.
Jim not even moving. They're going to send Belliard out to first base. Tom Brookins has been thrown out of this game before a pitch has been thrown. Now this is odd.
Jim is probably tired of dealing with this umpiring crew.
Good point.
For the last 3 days.
And I think, to be honest with you, he has kind of intimated that. Bottom of the screen right here. And I don't know what Brookie could have been arguing about. Right there, he's been thrown out of the game. So Belliard takes over at first base. Another ejection for a Tigers coach. This one was kind of sedate, though. The rest of them have been explosive.